Hi everyone, my name is Peyton Lunzer and I'm an assistant lecturer in the Learn program. In this short video, we'll discuss why the goal of writing instruction should be transferable skills. The goal of this video is to provide you with some simple strategies to help trigger positive transfer among your students when they write in your courses. Let's get started. First, let's talk about what we mean by transfer, drawing largely from the work by Kara Takzak, Kathleen Yancey, and Leanne Robertson. According to Takzak, transfer is the ability to take knowledge and practices learned about writing in one context and repurpose or reframe that knowledge and practice to help you in another context. In other words, a strong writer is one who can assess a writing situation and determine which of their writing skills they can best apply to meet the needs of that situation. Teaching for transfer is valuable because it shifts the focus from a specific assignment or class to a concept or skill, and the way students might use that concept or skill in the future. This improves students' ability to communicate effectively across contexts and purposes. An important thing worth noting about transfer is that it can go both ways. In other words, while you teach students practices that they can transfer forward, you should also be aware that students are transferring knowledge and skills from past writing situations. While these can be helpful, known as positive transfer, they can also be hurtful. Scholars identify negative transfer as writing experiences that negatively impact your ability to write in a new context. Resistance transfer occurs when past writing experiences make students resistant to learning something new. Simply being aware of and acknowledging the past writing experiences that students bring into your class is a good preliminary step to cultivating positive transfer. Ultimately, the idea of teaching for transfer is that the quality of a student's final product for your class is ultimately less important than their ability to learn the skills and habits to create successful work in other classes or situations. Let me say this in another way. It's often important to teachers that students produce high-quality final work in their classes. If that is an expectation in your class, reaching that goal should include helping students understand how to practice and transfer a set of actions that led them to the high-quality final work. Some teachers mistakenly think that editing student drafts will lead to transferable knowledge of punctuation, grammar, and mechanics, but in fact this kind of instructor proofreading often doesn't teach the student to transfer corrections beyond the immediate project. Teachers who are focused on transfer, then, look for other ways to emphasize the importance of, and strategies for, high-quality final work. So, while it's often important for students to submit strong writing within the timeline of a class, scholars like Takzak, Yancey, and Robertson remind us that the more important goal is students who can transfer skills from your class to future writing situations. In practice, making small changes to the way you approach writing assignments can increase students' focus on transferable skills. One thing you can do is explain the concept of transfer to your students early in your class, and make a point of reminding students that the knowledge and practice they're gaining will transfer to future writing situations. You can also identify the skills from previous writing situations, such as prerequisite classes, that might inform your class, and discuss this with your students. Assigning a short reflection early in the semester gives you a chance to learn what prior knowledge and practices students are bringing to your class. This kind of reflection can also help you identify and address previous experiences that might create problems with negative transfer. Lastly, you can identify the skills from your course that could apply to students' future courses or careers. You can do this work for them by clearly spelling out the writing practices that are most common or useful in your field. You can also have students imagine situations when they might use the skills they're learning in your class, perhaps through an end-of-semester reflection assignment. Let's look at some quick examples. Pause the video for some ideas for integrating transfer into your classes. Transfer emphasizes transferable skills over final products. It is important because it helps students transfer writing knowledge and practices to new writing situations, ultimately making them more effective writers. To integrate teaching for transfer pedagogy, you can teach your students about transfer, be aware of the ways that prior experiences might inform students' writing in your class, and ask students to reflect on prior and future writing situations.